I'm going to take my host hat off and put my speaking hat on because the awesome team behind the event asked me to do a talk, one of my popular talks. I've retrofitted it a little bit for the title. So the title we're going for is You Master Your Charisma Like a Ninja. See if we can get it on the screen here. Yeah? No? There we go. Nice one. All right. So give me a round of applause. I love that guy. He's clapping already. I haven't said anything. We didn't even start. I love that. Well, listen, so outside of hosting and public speaking, I do a lot of lectures and workshops on presence and how to have presence, actually. And I don't mean how to be present, because being present is important. That's very internally focused. That's all about, the meditation world. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how to have presence in your environment, such as an event today. Because our presence within the world, within our daily interactions with everyone in this room, tomorrow, next year, greatly impacts our experience we get within it. So I want to talk about the top 10 YouTube video I have in the world, actually, which is about this topic on my channel, Matt C. Smith. Go check it out. Specifically, when we talk about presence, I want to talk about how we can all tap into our inner charisma, right? Charisma and presence are words that are sort of interchangeable, in my honest opinion, right? Because charisma is something that we all associate with an individual, a leader. Some of the speakers you've seen, and some you'll see later. But presence is something that I strongly believe we can all tap into, we can all become better at, and gain an advantage on. It's about authenticity. Authenticity is the answer, being you. I made a post just earlier today on LinkedIn, and add me on LinkedIn if you like, Matt C. Smith, when I spoke about public speaking and an environment like this. Often, first-timers, like myself, many years ago, will open a talk with, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and they use terminology that you would never use in everyday life, right? When was the last time you sat down with friends and said, esteemed guests? Or with your partner, right? So it's about being authentic, and authenticity is the answer, overlaid with good communication. And really, all of this can be reverse engineered into good communication. That's really what it's all about. So it's through good communication we build connections, and it's through connections we build community. And I imagine that's why many of you lovely people here today are here to meet, to greet, to connect. And a shout out to the Pine app, if anyone hasn't downloaded it already. You can do that. You can make their meetings in the VC panel we saw go from 5 to 15 to 50. And I'd urge you to do that, because get the most out of today if you can. Don't leave just yet. Stay for the next 10 minutes. It's going to be a short talk. And then we'll move on into the afternoon later. But the most important thing, I think, with communication, and I've learned as hundreds of talks, maybe thousands by now, TV, documentaries. I'm also a professional skier training for the Olympics in 2026, so watch out, you'll see me there. But it comes down to self-awareness, right? So let me ask you all a question very quickly. I'm going to give you some homework. So such a big stage. I want to shout out and reach to you. What are the two things you're receiving from me right now? My friend with the blue scarf on. Don't look behind you. I'm talking to you. Energy, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But think senses, the visual and the verbal, right? If you all close your eyes and, block your ears, it's very hard to get much from me. So one thing to think about is, and this is a bit of homework for you all as well, tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, this month, do it this year. Here's a bit of homework for you. If you're a founder, it's very easy. Get your phone, put it in a bookshelf, record yourself standing doing your pitch, your 3 to 5 minute pitch. If you aren't a founder, talk about something you're interested in or passionate about, right? Now, do two things. Watch yourself back on mute first, right? See how you present the words. You're nodding very confidently. You've done this, haven't you? You did it last night, didn't you? Give her a round of applause. What's your name in the red top? Well done to you, thank you. So you watch it on mute. See how you physically represent and present the words. Then do a second thing. Close your eyes. And obviously unmute it, then close your eyes. And listen to yourself. Because 55% of communication is physical. Only 38% is the way you say the words, right? How you demonstrate and present the words. So you'll learn a little bit about self-awareness. How am I coming across to others? How can I have a greater impact with the words I use and the way that I deliver them? Because if I came on stage today and I spoke to you all like this and said, hey guys, yes, I'm going to talk to you. It's going to be really exciting. Are you excited? Give me a cheer. Yay. Right. Well, you actually did, so it still worked. I need to tone it down even more. But my point is, tonality is one of those. So I'm going to give you a few tips, tricks, tools in just a moment, how to maybe implement today to get a greater experience out of today, to be your authentic self, but your best authentic self. And since the awesome Startup Lithuania team were like, Matt, let's talk about charisma, I'm going to double down on that one. I mean, and how the English dictionary defines it, compelling attractiveness or charm that can inspire devotion in others. Ooh, devotion, that sounds good. If you're building a team and a culture, that can be useful, right? But mostly, when we think about charisma and presence, what do we think of? My friend over there in the red top, what do we think of? We think of the Barack Obamas, right? Charisma, presence. The Michelle Obamas, for that fact, actually. She's fantastic, right? I wonder who was the best first. My guess is Michelle. Barack had more time to practice, and then she came in at the end there. Fantastic. But there's different types of charisma and presence. And I think that's a truth that I want to dispel today with all of Lovely You, which is that we think charisma is a person, is a thing. It's often associated with masculine traits, which are incorrect. There's actually variations in that. There's the visionary type of charisma. There's all kinds, right? So there's, excuse me, I jumped ahead. Yeah. Anyway, there's authority, which is the kind you get from a leader a general, someone who has a domain expertise and knowledge, right? There's that visionary kind, the young entrepreneur who believes they're going to change the world. We all know those characters. We've seen them before in the movies and different types of things like that. Focus. Queen Elizabeth apparently had amazing focus. She made people feel very special, right? These are different variations, and you can all fit into a different box of your own charisma, your own presence, as opposed to trying to copy the Baracks and the Michelles. Find your own route. Like all powers, it can go wrong. Some of you might know some of these characters. Right? You have your Adam Newmans from WeWork who used that visionary and authority type of charisma, maybe too far, still raised billions of dollars and did a great job, but maybe took it a bit far. Your Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos, maybe she just went way too out, right? And of course, Calacanis from Uber. But like I said, there are 4 variations: visionary, authority, focus, and kindness. There's a charisma that comes with kindness. That's very associated to the motherly instinct of things, someone who's caring, right? That's a unique one. Now, charisma isn't who you are, it's really the things that you do. So I wanted to talk about some small things that we can all do and implement in our daily life, which anyone can do. And they're just communication tips and tricks. They're not trying to present to be better in any other context. It's just about you presenting yourself as a better communicator. Because once you become a better communicator, you connect more, you build more community. And I live in Oslo, Norway, and they need a lot of this. And I can say that, right? I think the Baltics aren't too dissimilar. We like to sort of, in Nordics at least, work in silos. People were living in fjords only 50 years ago, right? So trying to capture this in its essence, right? It's a learnt behavior. So reverse engineering it can be done. And I just want to leave a few sort of nuggets with you all today to see if you can think about this when you're walking around today and in the future as well. I work a lot with entrepreneurs pitching, and these are some tips and tricks which work to sort of build a bit more rapport with others, especially the VCs you met just a moment ago. So one of the lowest hanging fruit ways to be immediately interesting and engageable with anyone without doing anything or saying anything is talking through a smile, right? You don't have to overdo it all the time. Smile with your eyes as well. But that's so simple. If you just walk onto a stage and say, hello, I'm happy to be here. Even if you're terrified, even if this is not something that's natural to you, talk through a smile. Something I think we can all agree the world would be a better place if people would greet people with smiles as opposed to this. Because in that exercise you might all do, I hope, when you watch yourself and listen to yourself back and gain some self-awareness of how you come across to others. What are they seeing, right? You might also realize that when I did that I have a resting bitch face. You know what that is? Like my face, when it's in its natural position, maybe looks grumpy, maybe looks unsatisfied, maybe I look hangry, right? That's my natural face structure. So I've learned to put myself into a positive trait because how we project often engineers how we feel. An audience will mirror how you feel. So if I project myself out like this, do you feel you're nodding along with a smile? Look at that. Obedient audience. High five to you, right? Pauses. The power of the pause. It's awkward, isn't it? Silence. We don't know what to do with it, right? But when you're presenting on a stage specifically, this is more relevant to those situations. Pausing for effect can really be powerful to have an audience have a moment to rest, to reset, to think about what you've said, right? The power of the pause. Use it in a conversation, slowing things down. We've all had someone who speaks like this in front of a conversation. It's tiring to listen to, right? I've definitely been there. One of my still bad habits, even though I've done hundreds, if not thousands of talks, is slowing things down, man. I get excited. I get passionate about what I'm talking about, right? Super simple. Tonality. Excuse me. I gave you an example of that already. Using peaks and troughs and slowing things down, bass in your voice. This is what politicians do a good job of, the Baracks, the Nelson Mandelas, the Martin Luther Kings, but also tone matching. Tone matching is about noticing the environment you're in, right? Right now, I'm in a stage in front of, there's 3,000 people here, probably, a couple of hundred here already. If I came on stage with my inside voice when I was speaking to my friends on the bench here, talking like this, right? And you need to sort of tone match to the situation. I've also done the opposite, being inside a hall there and chatting really loudly to everyone. It takes a bit of self-awareness to realize when to turn those gears on and turn those gears off. You can use tonality to your strengths. So practice it a little bit, right? Monotone is usually not welcome, and monotone turns people off, as I'm sure you've all experienced, right? Now, I get asked this question all the time. Matt, I hate public speaking, and let's do an experiment here. Raise your hands if you can honestly say you love speaking in front of people. It's just us, huh? But it's true. 75% of the global population have said that, the third most commonly shared fear within 75% of them is the fear of public speaking, right? It is an inherently unnatural thing to do, to be in front of a crowd and do that. But if you're in a position to be speaking in front of people, there's probably something you're going to be talking about. There's a reason for you to be talking to them. So don't talk about the public speaking. Forget about that. Find the passion in the thing that you've been asked to speak about and let that come through. Passion is infectious. Big nods over there as well. I love doing this. Hopefully you can tell, right? Let your passion come through for what you're talking about, whether it's domain knowledge or something. Is CTO talking about tech? Let those GitHub things come through and talk about it passionately. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? 55% of all communication is nonverbal, it's physical, it's your mannerisms, it's how you present. But 38% of it is in the way that you say the words. Present it. A pitch is a performance, in my opinion. Perform the words. If you're talking to people and you're trying to make them feel emotion, add emotion to the words. Super simple. And to that point, people never remember the things you say, but they always remember the way you made them feel when you said it, right? Oh, we got a round of applause. I love it. It's true, though, isn't it? It's true. Yeah, we can give you a round of applause. They're clapping for you, though, not me. They're clapping for you. They're clapping for you. But it's true. Emotion is so important. People act on emotion. When I was a venture capitalist, we all want to find this deal that gets us excited about it. Oh, my God, the ones they were talking about, they missed out on, right? The momentum in the round, the excitement, right, Tom? Things like your business, I'm sure, people got excited about. Still do, right, TessaNet? I hope. And, yeah, so do you. But you want to get excited about these types of things. So find a way to add humor, add emotion, add empathy, right, to the story you're telling. Take them on a journey. And that's really important as well. In one of my books, I talk about story selling. Don't tell a story, sell your story. The difference in telling a story versus selling a story is in tonality, is in using pauses, is in taking people on a journey. Anyone can tell you what their startup does. But are they like, this is going to change the world? We are so passionate about it. Uses these little tips and tricks to change the game in how you raise money and how you interest people. Because it's not just money you're raising, it's people you're exciting to join your business, right? And there's no hack to this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid. Exposure therapy is the only way. So that's why I wanted to encourage you all today to go out there and walk up to people, new groups of people you haven't spoken to you. And I'll give you permission to do this. Okay, I've given you permission, and you can use me as the excuse. You can say, Matt said I should expose myself, right? That could also be misinterpreted, I guess, right? So maybe leave your jacket on when you do it. But go around today, meet and greet people, and use me. Hey, Matt said I should try this. I'm Matt. Nice to meet you, or whatever it is, okay? I want to see more of you doing that. And I want to leave you on one last thing before we bring on our next fantastic conversation, which is something, sort of a life lesson that I've learned, a philosophy that I live by, which is this. I'll read it out for you. People never remember the things you do that were expected of you, but they always remember the things you did that was unexpected. So be unexpected. Yeah, that is me. I thought I'd finish on an unexpected note. I told you I'm a skier. This is a campaign I did for them. That's me. Thank you so much for listening. Cheers.